What is going on, YouTube? I am Black Bigot coming to you live but not live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right now I am standing at 924 North 25th Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right off the corner of 25th and Kilbourne. Now you guys may not know this address, but if you Google it, it'll be one of the more notorious addresses in United States history. And the reason why is this very spot where I'm standing at right now used to be an apartment building where a man named Jeffrey Dahmer used to live. If you're under the age of 30, you might not know who Jeffrey Dahmer is, but let me allow myself to explain who this person was. So I will basically tell you in a quick layman's terms who he was. Jeffrey Dahmer was one of the more notorious serial killers that ever lived, perhaps in this country, perhaps even the world. His apartment was on these grounds right here. As you can see, it was right next to this brick building. This is where he lived. Basically, what Jeffrey Dahmer did was he would frequent a lot of gay bars, gay clubs, bathhouses. He would pick up unsuspecting gay male prostitutes. He would take them into his home, and basically he would drug them, give them sleeping pills or whatever. And then when they would pass out, he would strangle them to death, and then basically mutilate their bodies. And after a couple times that he did his dirty work, he started eating his victims. This was where his apartment was. Right after he got arrested, and his story was all over the news. I remember I was about 14, 15 years old, and he was all over the news. And I remember pictures of people in biohazard outfits coming in and just taking out like everything out of his apartment. He was keeping body parts in refrigerators, keeping heads in freezers. It was quite a disgusting mess, to say the least. Right after he got arrested, they tore the apartment building down. So this is where it used to stand. I would say this is a pretty crap neighborhood. 25th Street between State Street and Kilbourne. Just a very weird, very weird spot. So anyways, what I'm going to do is we're going to go around to other areas where Jeffrey Dahmer would frequent, kind of show you guys what he did, talk about that a little bit more. Maybe I'll also want to do a little bit of more of an in-depth video about him and who he was as just a freakish person. So let's take a trip, shall we? So I'm standing on Wisconsin Avenue right now in Milwaukee, and we're standing catty corner from the Ambassador Hotel. Now this place was the scene of a rather grisly murder that Jeffrey Dahmer committed here. So one night he met a man, his name was Steve Tuomi. Dahmer had rented a room here at the Ambassador Hotel here on Wisconsin Avenue, right down the street from Marquette University. So he met a man. Dahmer had rented a room here for the night, and he met him. They both got drunk. The next day, Dahmer wakes up basically laying on top of Steve Tuomi's body. He didn't even remember killing him. He didn't remember killing this guy. So what he did was he went to go buy a large suitcase, presumably from a store around here. And he started dismembering Mr. Tuomi's body. He cut his arms, his legs, torso. He cut his head off. He takes the remains to his aunt's house, which I believe is in Ohio. So he takes the remains to his aunt's house because she lives in a wooded area. And he proceeds to cut the body even more into little pieces. And then he took a sledgehammer and starts hammering the body, just like completely like destroying the bones and everything. And then he scattered the remains and buried them by his aunt's house. But then he keeps his skull. So he keeps this man's skull and uses it as some kind of a sexual ritual. I'm not going to go into detail of what he did, and I don't want to know. But yeah, this is where it occurred, right here, the Ambassador Hotel. Kind of a creepy place. We're about 2 miles away from downtown. All right. Look to your right. We're passing the Blood Center of Wisconsin. This is where Jeffrey Dahmer worked. He worked here for about 10 months and he got fired. He was a hopeless alcoholic. I mean, this guy was just a real big piece of crap, in my honest opinion. Everything that Jeffrey Dahmer did was it was a small, tight radius of his apartment. I mean, this was pretty much his stomping grounds, his hangout. And this is where he did a lot of his dastardly deeds, was within pretty much like a 2 square mile radius. Right now, this is we're in the Marquette University area, and yeah. Guys, I am currently standing in front of 315 Water Street, just a little bit south of downtown Milwaukee. This is an industrial area, as you can see. And I'm standing in front of this place. It is empty now, but it used to be a gay bathhouse here. And this was one of Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite hangouts to pretty much go and just hang out and just socialize amongst the other people. Jeffrey Dahmer was a gay man, and he actually got kicked out of most, if not all, of the gay bathhouses in Milwaukee because he just couldn't stop drugging and raping people. I mean, it's something that he just loved to do. He loved drugging and raping men. Right here, guys. This is where he did it. You know, I often think. If I were alive back then and he met me in a gay bathhouse, I wonder if he would want to drug and rape me. I think he would because I'm a good-looking man. But like, let's say if he did it, right? If he didn't drug and rape me, I would be offended because I think I'm a nice-looking guy, and I think that there's plenty of homicidal maniac gay guys out there that would love to do nothing but drug and rape me. With that being said, this is where a lot of his rapes took place, and yeah. So, God, what a dastardly human being. Let me tell you something. If he would not do that to me, I would be really, really offended. I would demand, some kind of some action, if you will. I mean, if I were into that kind of thing. But all right, that's about what he liked to do right here, guys. Right here, live. Of November 28, 1994, Dahmer left his cell to conduct his assigned work detail. Accompanying him were 2 fellow inmates, Jesse Anderson and Christopher Scarver. The trio was left unsupervised in the showers of the prison gym for approximately 20 minutes. At approximately 8:10 a.m., Dahmer was discovered on the floor of the bathroom of the gym, suffering from extreme head and facial wounds. He had been severely bludgeoned about the head and face with a 20-inch metal bar. His head had also been repeatedly struck against the wall in the assault. Although Dahmer was still alive and was rushed to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead 1 hour later. Anderson had also been beaten with the same instrument and died 2 days later from his wounds. Scarver, who was also serving a life sentence for a murder committed in 1990, informed authorities he had first attacked Dahmer with a metal bar as he was cleaning a staff locker room before attacking Anderson as he cleaned an inmate locker room. According to Scarver, Dahmer did not yell or make any noise as he was attacked. Immediately after attacking both men, Scarver, who was thought to be a schizophrenic, returned to his cell and informed a prison guard, and I quote, "God told me to do it." God told me to do it. Really quick, I also wanted to end the video right here. One of the detectives that arrested Jeffrey Dahmer had conducted a strip search of him when he was taken to jail. And I thought it was really interesting what he said about Jeffrey Dahmer's body. He said, I mean, because a lot of detectives and police, they see naked guys all the time because they got a strip search in them all. He said, he basically said Jeffrey Dahmer was the most in shape man he's ever seen in his life. He didn't have not 1 ounce of fat on him at all. I thought that was really, really odd, really, really interesting. All right, guys, so that was a quick tour of where Jeffrey Dahmer used to live, where he used to hang out and all that good stuff. So anyways, I'm Black Bigot, I'm with SKG. And yeah, until next time, America. Vlog over. Just kidding. I'm done, guys.